I'm down tonight in 34 Miles Heli with Mr. Eddie Jenkins. And Mr. Eddie Jenkins now is going to tell us of his war experience in Burma during the war. Now then, Eddie, tell me, first of all now then, where are you from, Aberystwyth?
No, I was born in a little village of Pennycoch.
Pennycoch, was it? Yeah.
70 years ago.
70 years ago,
yes.
Yeah, 70 years. And you went to school in Pennycoch, was?
Yes, Church of England COE school.
Yeah, Church of England COE school.
And the village, it was very small in them days, everybody knew each other.
Yes, of course, yes.
And it was more homely kind of thing. But going up there in recent times has changed so much. Well, people who live there, they all appear to be strangers to each other.
Well, all the villages are same, Eddie?
Yes,
all
yes,
the villages are same, yes. English people moving in, see?
Yes,
yes,
but not so much in Penryn. There are quite a few English there, but there's a lot of Welsh people with the college, I suppose.
Oh, yes, there are, yes. Now then, you went to school in Penryn.
Yes.
Right. How long were you in school for?
Oh, 14 years.
14 years of school, yes. You came out to school. What was the first job you did when you came out to school?
Well, I took up as an apprentice plumber, and I stuck that for quite a while.
With who now?
Bloke, Griffiths, Yanto Griffiths from Llanmarion.
Llanmarion,
yes.
And how long were you on that?
Oh, about 4.5 years. And I kept having a rash all the time. I think I was allergic to the lead, you know.
To the lead,
and then, I packed it in.
And then at the end of 4.5 years, you were called up, were you?
Yes, practically, yes. I joined the territorials when I was about 17, 1937.
1937?
37.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few in it at the time. There's one or two from Pennycoch, Ray Morgan for one, my brother, and then there's one or two from Bancadarren, further up.
They were in the same time, were they?
In the same time.
Yeah.
And then we got called up on the Sunday war broke out.
Yes, you got called up on the Sunday?
Yes. And that was the start.
That was the start?
Yes. We spent...
Where did you go, first of all, when you were called up then, from here?
Well, we were in Aber for 2-3 months, if I remember rightly, digging up split trenches and old parking ground.
Yeah, was it, yeah.
And billeted in Aberystwyth, you know.
Yeah.
And then we went up to Llandudno, and we spent most of the winter of 1940 there. And let's see, you know, we were there for about 3 months, and then we went up Lancashire, and then we went down to around the shore in Brighton area, on coastal defence with artillery.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah. So we travelled around a bit, and had a short period of time in Dorset, in Dorchester. And then I got posted abroad there, me and another boy from Llangeitho, Evans. I seen him once or twice since the war.
Yeah.
But we got split up as soon as we got to India.
Well, yeah, that means that you went from here to India first of all?
To India, yes.
Yeah.
We were going to Singapore, actually, but it fell to the Japanese before we arrived.
Oh, yeah.
So the whole convoy got diverted then to India. And I joined a regiment of artillery that had been fighting in the Middle East. So I was with them for quite a while. And then we got split up then for this Wingate Chindit operation.
Oh, I see, yes.
That was, we flew in to Burma in April.
You flew to Burma in April?
In April, 1944.
1944, yes.
And
what was the first thing that happened when you were in Burma?
Well, I remember we landed early morning on a very, very rough landing ground. It's only been hand repaired out of the jungle.
Yeah.
And there were eight of us on the plane, machine gunners. And we had 2 mules and a big bullock, an Indian bullock, which we ate eventually.
Yeah.
And now we landed on the strip and could hear the tail wheels screaming, you know, and we pulled up just short of another plane that had tilted on its nose, you know, it was going down into a ditch, you know.
Into a ditch.
We just managed to pull up short of that. And then it was one long route march then for about daily for about 5.5 months.
Yeah.
And
Marching for 5.5 months.
Maybe, you know, maybe 20, 30 miles a day, maybe more, you see.
Okay, was it? Marching 30
Yeah.
miles a day?
Yes. And we carried 70 pounds of weight altogether, including our food and arms and ammunition, grenades and all
Okay,
that.
for 70 pounds.
It's a 70-pound weight to carry. And it's, the country itself, it is very steep. You used to go up a hill, quite steep hills, mountains, and aeroplanes actually were flying along the valley below us.
Yeah.
And then we'd cross that range of hills and then down the other side, and all the hills were running parallel with each other. So it is up and down, you know,
Up and down all the time.
all the time, and it is a struggle. Well, the weather at first was good, dry weather, you know, and we were reasonably fit, of course. Well then, as time went on...
And the fighting started then, did it?
Well, on and off.
On and off,
yes.
You were getting a few areas, were you?
Yeah, no, we were attacking Japanese oil installations and dumps, you know, like places.
How many were you going out at the same time to attack? A dozen?
Oh, no, we used to leave a lot of the stuff somewhere, what we call a safe area, like. Well, then a battle group used to go out to do the shooting.
Oh, the battle group?
Yeah.
Now, what about the battle group then? How many were they?
Oh, about, it'd be roughly about 100 men, say.
Was there 100 men going
No,
out there?
we had engineers attached to us. They were, they blew the railway bridges up, or railways, you know.
What did they?
And then we had some RAF personnel who was to signal with their radio to India for... We had all our supplies and food dropped by parachute, you see, for all our months.
Yeah.
So when the weather was bad, we didn't get... Well, sometimes it came through in bad weather, of course, but very often 10 days rations had to last us through the month.
Did they indeed?
And
10 days ration?
yes. And we were always short of food, especially towards the last 2 months anyhow. And the monsoon started anyhow, and it was just, if you can imagine, a real heavy thunder rain, and that lasted for hours or maybe days.
Yeah.
And all we had was what we were dressed in. Just a shirt and trousers.
And you used to get soaking wet.
And we went through. And we had to sleep in it and live in it. And that went on for quite a few months. Well, conditions were getting worse all the time. And blokes were dying left and right. There's a lot more died through fever and giving up than actually got killed, you see.
What did they?
Oh, yes. And
People just gave up, did
yes, give up.
Just give up.
They hadn't got the will to go no more, you see.
Did they? And you saw many of them, did you?
Oh, yes. We left a lot of boys behind, and they, you know, they just couldn't carry them with us.
They used to die in the bed,
And we
did
used
they?
to leave them there by the side of the path, you see.
Did you?
Whether they shot themselves or whether they just died or maybe they got captured, you know, one never knows. But they're rather brooks, you know, they just couldn't keep going any further, you know, they just worn out, washed out. And
then how long were you in that camp then?
right on the camp, we continually marching.
Oh, you were marching all the time?
Yeah, maybe they'd have a few days off, you know, and in a certain place like where to ambush a convoy or something like that, you know. But
well, this marching must have got you down, hadn't it?
oh yes. Well, now we'd be marching and climbing these hills, you see, on your hands and knees. As well, first of all, it is sweat and flies, and sweat and shortage of water. Then when the monsoon came, it is mud, nothing but mud. And well, our feet were raw, you see. If you can imagine your feet from your ankles down. We never took our boots off for days on end, you see.
Yeah.
And our boots were rotting away on our feet. Well, all the skin had gone, you know, with the mud, the suction of the mud pulling your boots and all that.
All the skin had gone?
Yeah, which is just lumps of raw flesh.
Was it indeed?
Yeah.
And did the doctors give you something?
Well, they couldn't, you see. If you took your boots off to put some ointment on, you know, you'd fill your sock with ointment. The pain was so unbearable, it is better to leave it as it was, you know, you know.
And you never had another pair of boots to put on?
Well, eventually we'd get a supply by air, you see, by parachute, and we'd get a new pair of boots, and they'd be rotted through within a couple of, say, a week or
and
so.
Most of them were like that, were they?
Oh, yes, yes. Well, all the chin dates were, you see.
Were they?
Yeah. Like, with the chin dates, we were about 200 odd miles behind the Japanese, you see.
What sort of people were these Chindids?
Well, they were just ordinary. We'd had some very hard training for 6 months.
In jungle warfare, no?
Yes, in jungle warfare. But we weren't we weren't geniuses. We were just ordinary soldiers, like, you know, except had been trained a bit better, perhaps.
That's it, yeah.
But
and then what happened when you came to the end of this march then?
Well, eventually...
You went to camp then, did you?
No, eventually we found a way through the Japanese line, the Chinese lines and the Japanese, back onto our own side, you see.
Yeah.
Well, where we came through the lines, coming back, and this is about 5.5 months after we went in. We, you know, just made our way back to our own side, kind of thing. And now, we come across an American first aid post, you see. So, one of the doctors, American doctors, he told me to go up the lane, and there's a small aircraft there, like plane.
Yeah.
So I sat on the wheel there for a while, waiting. Eventually the pilot came along. They put 2 stretcher cases in the fuselage, and I was sitting just above the pilot, my feet underneath his armpits, and put a row of turf across the road, just ordinary road, about 10 yards in front of the plane.
Yeah.
So,
10 yards?
Yes,
yeah.
about 10 yards. Now, when we hit these turf, it gave the plane a bounce, helped us to get up into the air, you see. So then,
well, that's what the turfs were for?
Yes, yes.
Give it a bounce?
Yes, because we wouldn't have had enough run to take off otherwise. And there's some huge trees. Oh, they were, you know, 100 foot or more high, you see.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking down now, and I could see the wheels going through the branches, through the leaves of the branches of the trees, you know.
After taking off?
Yes.
Could you?
Yeah. We landed further north, and then we got in a big Dakota, and then flew back to India. But...
where were you now then, the heaviest fighting in Burma then?
Well, it was in mid-Burma, northern Burma, around Indore and the Indogi Lake there's a lot of skirmishing around that way.
Where did you first meet the enemy?
Well, some small place, nameless then, you know, just somewhere in the jungle it was. But
You saw the first Jap?
the first Jap, yes. And they did some dreadful things to our boys. Used to torture them, kill them. We eventually were just as bad as them. Our boys used to...
What form of torture did they use, you know?
Well, they'd bayonet the boys to death, tied against a tree, and they'd kill them with swords and all that, you know.
Would they?
But...
Would they club them to death?
Yes, oh yes, yes.
With a rifle butt?
Yes, yes. Well now...
did they starve them?
Well, the prisoners in the camps used to be starved, you see. But with the fighting Japanese, we didn't have time to fiddle like it. They killed us or we killed them, and then you had to move on to a new area.
One, yeah.
Yeah. And now, there were dreadful things done. There's a lot of things I wouldn't like to mention.
No.
That, but you see, there's so much talk about the prisoners of war. They did suffer, I know. But so did a lot of the fighting men.
Yeah.
And I myself was 6 stone 7 pound when I came out of Burma. 6 stone 7 pound.
6 stone 7 pound.
And I had malaria, dysentery, jaundice. I suffered from malnutrition, low blood count, and my feet, of course, were red raw.
Yeah.
And all my mates are the same, you see.
Of course, yes.
And we had a rough time with it. Well, now, when you actually fought the Japanese, you used to be in such a different frame of mind to what you'd be normally. It was just revenge and kill.
That's it, of course, yes.
On both sides.
Yes.
There's no...
The first one in, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
The first one you
yes.
got shot in.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, now, the Japanese, you must remember, their punishment from their own people and their discipline was dreadfully severe.
Was it indeed?
Oh, yes. So one can understand, in a way, that they had no sympathy for a prisoner or for their enemy, because they were treated so harshly themselves.
Really?
Oh, yes. Well, now,
What did you were telling me the other day about you were thirsty and you went to the river for water?
Yes.
Where was this then?
Yes. Well, this was somewhere around, not far from the Ndoggy Lake, in mid-Burma. And it was before the wet season started, you see. The weather was dry. Rivers and streams are drying up. So when you come to no rivers, something like the Ride, or you know, it is dry.
Yes, is it? Yeah.
To dig down with small trenching tools, about 10 feet or 15 feet, into the gravel, looking for a seepage of water, some water trapped in the rock, you know.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
And now, anyhow, before it got as bad as this, we'd come to this little stream, you know, it looked all right, the water's running, it's unstagnant, like. So, anyhow, we were all lying on our stomachs, drinking and filling the water bottles that you carried, you know.
That's it, yeah.
With water. We had a bit of a rest, and the mules had a drink.
Yeah, that's it.
And after about 10 minutes, we started off.
You started off, yeah?
Moving upstream, you see.
Yeah.
Well, we'd only gone about 100, 200 yards perhaps. And there in the river, in the stream, there are lots of corpses. And there's 1 or 2 animals mixed with them.
Japanese corpses?
Yes, they were, yes. They were bloated and putrefied.
In the water?
Yes. And the water had built up, like dammed up behind these corpses, and the water's overflowing and coming over these bodies, the stomachs and all that.
And you were drinking 200 feet
And
yards?
we'd been drinking this water about 200 yards or so downstream without realising it, you see.
Without realising?
Yeah, and well, normally, see, we'd have little tablets you'd mix up with the water, you know, but
to drink.
Things, you know, he didn't have them, so he didn't.
And you never suffered any ill effects after you?
Not through that,
No,
actually, not through.
But see, Eddie, the water was running, wasn't it?
Yes, the water was running.
It was running over him, see?
Yes.
So I suppose it was.
And all his maggots were dropping off with the water, you know, and getting washed off and downstream, you see. And I noticed these bits, something going down when I was on the stomach.
Drinking?
Yes, when I was drinking. And I thought it was a bit of leaves and undergrowth stuff, you know, been disturbed.
You didn't realise that?
I didn't realise what they were, no.
What did the other chaps say when they saw these corpses?
It's one of them things, you know.
One of them things that happened, yes.
Yeah.
Other types of tortures that you've come across?
Well, I don't like raking up things that happened on them years ago.
No.
And the way I look at it, well, it's best to forget sort of this stuff. But there were terrible instances, and wounded men were kicked to death, and
by the Japs?
By the Japs and by us, you see.
And by you?
Oh yes, we weren't angels, not by a long chalk.
Oh, wounded men were kicked?
You see, on both sides, enemy and friend, we did things we never done normally. We suffered so much, we saw so much, and in the end we were acting the same as them, you see. And
were you? Yeah.
Oh yes. And things were done that
you wouldn't normally do?
Oh God, no. And
well, I suppose you got used to it in the end. You found nothing
well,
doing.
we did to a point, yes.
Yeah.
But you know, it was them or us kind of thing, you see.
That's it, yeah.
And well, one thing that tickles me whenever I think of it.
Yeah.
We were guarding a river, you see, it's a river junction with the machine guns.
Yeah.
And we used to sleep at night in this Burmese hut. And these Burmese, you see, all their huts, they were quite strong, but they were made of bamboo, you see.
Yeah.
But they were on high stilts, about 7 foot or so above the ground. The ladders to, you know, stop snakes going in or with flooding during the monsoon, you see. Well now, at night, a lot of these old buffalo, like the Indian buffalo, they used to go underneath these huts.
Oh, did they? To sleep?
Yeah, to sleep and, you know, a bit of shelter from the flies, I suppose. Well now, they used to rub themselves against these pillars, yes. Well now, this particular night, the blinking hut nearly collapsed, you know.
Oh, did it?
It was really shaky.
How many people were in the hut?
Oh, it's about 10, 15 of us, I suppose. Well now, in the morning, you see, we suddenly found out what it was. It was an earthquake.
Was it?
And we'd thought it was these bullocks, you see, rubbing and shaking the place, you see, underneath.
It was an
But
earthquake?
it was an earthquake, yeah.
Did it cause any damage?
Well, no, not that we know of.
No.
But it's very amusing at the time, right?
At the time, yes.
But we were very short of food, and towards the end, everybody gone to their limit to their endurance. It was impossible to go on any longer. we'd been kept in Burma much longer than was intended, really.
What are you? Yeah.
Because Wingate got killed in a crash.
Yeah.
And now there's an American general in charge of the Chinese, and Vinegar Joe, they called him.
Oh, yes, yes,
Still
yes.
well.
Yeah.
And he did hate the English.
Did he?
Oh, yes.
He did
Even
English.
our high-ranking officers.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
And he had no sympathy at all. All he was after was his own glory.
Was it?
Well, he got sent back to America eventually, you know, semi-disgrace kind of thing.
Yeah, that's it,
But
yeah.
he kept us there doing kind of attacks that he weren't intended to do.
What was he? Yeah.
Yeah. And, well, we were kept in much too long, like. And,
Was the fighting still going on, was it?
oh, yes. Yes. But,
how did you find the Japs in the jungle? They were better than you?
no, they're no better than us at all. They were, well, they were disciplined so harshly. You see, they did what they were told. They were ready to die. When they went to the war, they didn't expect to go home. Like, they didn't have a hope of going home alive, you see.
Didn't they?
No, no. And that is their policy, you see. Well, now, with the British, he thought, well, you know, if I'm careful, I might get home in one piece,
Yes, you were
alive,
hoping,
you
you
know.
were hoping to get home,
Yes,
yes.
but the Japanese, they had no...
He put his mind on dying then, did he?
Yes,
Dying for his country.
right, that's it. And the strange thing is now, nearly 50 years later, well, 2 years ago, I and a local boy who was in the Royal Welsh, he's a different regiment to me, we went up to Wrexham, and we met 10 of these Japanese war veterans who fought us in Burma.
What did you, yeah?
And one, he's a high-ranking officer too, and he was actually involved very much against the Chindits, you see.
Oh, was he?
Against us,
Yeah.
And he told me that British historians, war historians, never give credit to Wingate the credit he deserved.
Oh.
And there's a big attack at the time, the Chindits were in Burma, against a garrison town, Kohima. It was like a very important strategic point, you see, and Imphal. And now if they'd have won the battle there, they'd have gone straight into India.
Were they?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well now, we were blowing the railways up and ambushing convoys, you see, further back, before the supplies got up to their front lines where they needed it, you see. Before the supplies could go to Kohima, we were destroying a lot of it, you see.
We were, yeah.
So now, this Japanese officer, he told me that the second Wingate campaign had commenced, or we'd gone into Burma at a very critical time as far as the Japanese were concerned. Because at that period of time, they were taking their troops through paths and side roads and you know, all the supplies up to the front, you see, for this big battle. Well now, we interfered with all that.
Oh, yes, yes.
And he reckoned that if it hadn't been for Wingate, the outcome of the Battle of Kohima could have been very well been different.
Different?
Yes. So,
So now, towards the end of the war then, where did you finish off abroad? Towards the end?
well, I went back to India after the Chindit operation, and after a few months, you know, we'd come to reasonable good health again. Well, they wanted volunteers now to drive road convoys to China, supplies to China from India, a long haul. Well, now I put my name down, and I got transferred then from the Beds and Herts, who I was with the Chindits, as a machine gunner, to the 4th Border Regiment. And we went back into Burma, and we're doing road patrols, and we're taking some new supplies up, like armoured cars and things like that, from India to the front.
And there was no fighting then?
So very little, very little.
Very little.
Little. But the fighting was further south, you see.
Further south, is it?
Yeah. Well, now, after about a few months there, he returned to India, to a place called Chittagong, Bangladesh now. And we sailed from there in a convoy to attack Rangoon in Burma, from the sea, you see. Yeah. Operation Dracula, they call it. And now, we landed early one morning, and it had been a storm, I remember that. And then when we got there, the Japanese had all gone. They'd gone back into the jungle, you know, left. They deserted the town then, you know.
Deserted the town,
yes. And there was a little bit of fighting, but my regiment weren't involved in that. Well, now, I did a couple of months on dock guards, you know, I used to take the boys down to the guard ships down docks in a jeep, and from where our camp was. And it was just general duties around the town, like
yes.
That
was 1945,
that was about 45. Well, now, I was out shopping one day down in the bazaar with the sergeant for the officers' mess, and we saw these planes coming in, a big silver plane with a cross on it, and he was escorted with British fighters, you know, Hurricanes, if I remember rightly. So we went up the road now, about 20 miles towards a big aerodrome called Mingladon, and it was the Japanese peace envoy just arrived to make peace. They came down to Rangoon by jeep and signed the peace treaty for the Burma.
Signed it there?
Signed it there. And they passed through a couple of yards masts with all the green, gold braid and green,
yeah, that's it, yeah.
And the swords and so that, yeah. Remember that.
And then you sailed.
So then, yes. Well, now, I just got back to camp one day after taking some boys downtown, and I was told to take my kit, or it's, you know, part of my kit, to the stores that I was going home and what do you call it, repatriation to the UK. Well, you know, I took it as a pinch of salt, you know, I can't be, you know. So I carried on eating my dinner there, and somebody else came chase me up. So anyhow, within an hour and a half, I was in the middle of the Rangoon River on a troop ship, ready to sail for home.
Ready to sail for home?
Yes. So now we came home through the Mediterranean, past Gibraltar. It took us exactly a month to come home.
Yes.
But going out, it took us 2 months. It was in January 1942.
What was the story you were telling me the other day about how you were going about and they were dragging these bodies behind? Where was that then?
Oh, yes. Well, that was in Bombay. We had just arrived in Bombay, and we hadn't got off the boat. We just, you know, tied up like. And I could see this launch coming up through the harbour, and it's like a wave behind us. You could just throw in something. Well, it passed more or less right under the troop ship, you know, on the side. And as, I don't know, forget the number now, it could have been 7 or 9. They were naval personnel, and they'd been drowned, you see. You know, they were all swollen, and they were on their face down, you see. But then,
with the rope on the neck, was it?
The rope was on the ankles, you see, towing them.
Was it?
I suppose the boat is too small to take them all on, and the smell perhaps too, I don't know.
And there were 20 behind.
All the skin was black, and I remember that rightly. And the square collars the Navy boys have, they were covered in the heads actually. You couldn't,
Oh, they were, yes.
the water was dragging them.
Dragging them, yes.
Yeah. But that was my introduction to India.
That was your introduction to India.
Yeah.
And then you came home. Where did you land when you came home?
Landed in Glasgow.
Glasgow you landed?
Yes, and we were on the boat for about 2 days before we got off it.
Yeah?
And coming home again, we had 20 Egyptian gold flake cigarettes, cheap cigarettes, to last us for a month in our voyage home.
On the voyage home?
And they were very sore point to the boys.
Yeah.
And anyhow, we in train now, it was Saturday morning, I think, and there's 3 or 4 from my regiment. We had to travel from Liverpool down to, from Glasgow, down to Margate. So anyhow, we met a regimental sergeant major there, and he said, oh, the office is closed, you can't go home and leave till Monday,
Oh yeah, you have to stay till
So
Monday.
anyhow, he decided to get some officer to sign a railway warrant for us, so to get home straight away.
Do you remember the reception you had in Aberystwyth when you got home?
Oh, well, it was Guy Fawkes night.
Was it?
It was the 5th of November, I can remember that.
And the fireworks were going fire.
And the fireworks were going. My little sister, she'd grown, in about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And she came to the station to meet me. I hardly recognised her.
You hardly recognised her? And she hadn't seen you,
And she hadn't seen me, you see.
No.
Well, I'd been away for 6 years, you
Yeah.
see, altogether. And so then, after about, what was it, she had about a fortnight's leave, I think. And then we had to report back to St. Nate's.
Oh, you had to report back again?
Yes. So we were in this camp, and all we did all day was pick matchsticks up or cigarette ends from the
ground?
From the ground.
That's all you did all day?
Yes. Christmas came, 1945, and they told us that anybody who hadn't leave for so many years, Christmas leave, was entitled to a couple of 24 hours. Well, we had our passes, got in the train, and now it meant me leaving Aberystwyth to go back on Boxing Day. And if I remember rightly, there's no trains or something. But anyhow, as a lot of us failed to return to camp in time.
You failed to return, yeah.
Failed to return.
But I said, were they worried a lot, did they?
No, but we all had CB, confinement to barracks. But within hours of that happening, I was transferred to Watford to a prisoner of war hospital, a German prisoner of war hospital. So I was a guard there for 2 or 3 months in a very cold winter, 1945, early 46. And we moved from there to a prisoner of war camp near Swindon. We were there for a short while, and I got demobbed from there.
You got demobbed from there? And you came home?
I came home on a Good Friday, 1946.
Was it?
Yeah.
And then, of course, it took you a long time to get over that, did it?
Oh, yes.
To build yourself up again,
yes. At first it was all right, but I was terribly unsettled. It's as if I couldn't sleep 2 days in the same place, I had to keep moving, like.
You had to keep moving.
And it's strange, you just couldn't adapt yourself at all.
No, you couldn't, after all those years,
yes,
you couldn't adapt yourself to civilian life again, no.
And you felt as if you're persecuted with everything,
Yeah.
It's a strange feeling. I tried to join the Merchant Navy, actually, but there were so many people, and ex-Navy people, who were the same as me. Well, no, they went back to the Navy, see, they couldn't settle down. And I suppose they had a choice of them more so than a soldier, you see.
That's it, yes.
So anyhow, they give me an excuse as about half an inch too short or something.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what made it.
So-
What did you do after you came out to the army then? What's the first job you did then?
And I think I went as a plumber up to Ryder, working on the dam.
Yeah.
They were putting the barracks up and all that, the kitchens. But it was a very cold winter, and a local shopkeeper, he was taken ill, and his wife asked me if I'd drive the grocery one.
Yeah. And then when did you come to Aberystwyth?
When
did you come to live here?
well, I lived, I went to Shrewsbury for a short while to work. I didn't like it there, so I came back. But I lived in town more or less since the war,
Yeah. What was the last job you did before retiring then?
With the council.
On the council,
Yes, I was driving the road sweeper.
Yeah. And how long have you retired now?
6 years.
6 years you retired?
6, 7 years, yeah.
And you live here now with the family?
Yes, yes.
Well, Eddie, thanks a lot for telling me something about the Burma War.
Well,
I'll say goodbye now then. Goodbye.